you doing? My name's Dave, and if you're gonna do a part 2 to your first video, you can call me Daveypoo, the Mobile Music Minstrel. How you doing? Alright, so we're gonna start exactly where we left off in the last video, and we're gonna talk about how to take the initial sound we just made and make it into something a little more interesting, a little more like something you'd use in an actual tune than just a basic, sine wave style patch. So here we go. This is what we ended up with last time. Basically, we figured out how to put the pins in the matrix in such a way that you could press a key and it would make a sound, and it would turn off the sound when you took your finger off the key, and just get this thing to be playable. We've done nothing other than make it be playable. So let's sort of look at some sound shaping as you would do on a normal, traditional synthesizer, okay? So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to make a bass patch. That's where I normally start for synthesizers, right? I'm a bass player. I like bass stuff. I got the Behringer Model D. I bought that as a bass synth. I'm a bass guy, so let's make a bass patch, okay? This range, I want this to be lower, so I want to drop these oscillators down by an octave. But these oscillators, you can't lock them to a pitch very easily. You have to think about when this synthesizer was designed. It was from 1969, before they had standardized this kind of stuff, and they were doing everything with actual voltages and everything. So let's double tap on the frequency and see where we're at. Okay, here you see it says value 369.99. I'm going to call that 370. Okay. Because this is designed on the architecture of a synthesizer that required voltages, you have to think in numbers in a few places here. In order to make this pitch down an octave, I have to cut that number in half. So 370 divided by 2 is 185. So we're just going to put in 185 here. And now, if I turn down the square wave here, hear that now I'm down an octave. So if I do the same thing here, I'm going to go to, see, now that's up at 740. So if I went to 370, this would drop it an octave, but it'd still be an octave up from where it was. So I can still have this come down an octave again, down to 185. And now it's down here. Now, I want to put these oscillators a little bit out of sync with each other so you get that nice phase going on. So, again, we're going to work with numbers a little bit here. I'm going to put in 183. I'm going to go with actually 184 because I like the phase to be a little slower. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Now, you got to remember that this architecture, again, I'm going to say this all the time, is different than the synthesizers you are used to. So, oscillator 1 has output volume. So does oscillator 2. You have to adjust the level of it from the output of the oscillator itself. So, I've got them turned all the way up here so we get a nice usable signal. If we want more volume, I can go down here to the master level. There we go. And I can turn those up. Okay, I'm going to put them around 8 so that we're not going to blow out their headphones as we go forward. So, okay, this is cool. Still kind of basic though. So let's deal with the filter a little bit. We have routed in the filter here. We went from the oscillator to the filter to the envelope, and the envelope to the output. So now that I turned up the filter, or opened it up, if I turn up the response a bit, so how do I make it so that I can control the envelope of the filter? There's a number of different ways that you can do it. I'm going to show you a simple way that'll just get you right there. It doesn't provide you with all of the controls. It doesn't provide you with a full ADSR envelope control, but it will get you in the realm there, and at least it's closer and it's fast. That's the key. So we're going to go to Trapezoid, and we're going to put the Trapezoid in the filter. So what is the Trapezoid? Have you ever seen a Trapezoid knob on a synthesizer before? I haven't, but I think it's kind of cool. What is the Trapezoid? Well, it's kind of like a standing square wave. I'm going to show you. I'm going to route Trapezoid to the meter here. Okay, just so, oops, not envelope, Trapezoid. So that you can see what it looks like. And if I flip to the back panel and I turn this on, okay, that's the meter window. Now I'm going to press a key here. So you see that the green thing is moving. We're going to smooth the scale a bit. So you can see every once in a while, there. Okay, when I press down on the key, it basically starts or turns off the square wave. And then when I release the key, it puts the square wave back on again. So it's like an on-off switch. You know, a square wave, because it can be all or nothing, right? You can look at it as if it's an on-off switch, right? When it flips to one side is on, it flips to the other side is off, okay? Hopefully you get the idea. That's my gibberish way of describing what it does. Okay, it's a non-technical explanation for a non-technical world. If I apply that to the filter and I turn the frequency down, you hear when I press it, it's opening up that filter. So the trapezoid becomes like the envelope knob on a Mini Moog, right? Where it's affecting the amount that it's affecting it, right? Trapezoid is the amount that you're adding that trapezoid signal to the filter. And if you mess with that and the frequency, right? Okay, so let's try something else. Let's try, okay, so we've got this good wah sound, okay? That's not bad, but we lost a little bass in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pin out of the filter, and I'm going to run it straight into the envelope for oscillator 2. So we're skipping the filter for oscillator 2. Ooh, that's bright. So now we're going to turn it down. Now I can mess with the shape of the square wave and get that sort of pulse width modulation thing. But see, already I've got a playable patch. Already I've got something that I can mess with. Okay, even if we just go back to putting this at its middle point. Okay, and we're going to go back here. We'll throw this back through the filter. Okay, I'm just messing with it to try to get it somewhere into a sound that I might actually use in a tune. So this is kind of dry. So what else can we do with it? Let's throw a little through the reverb. So we have mapped this as oscillator going to filter, filter going to envelope, envelope going out to the output. We're also going to send the envelope to the reverb and have the reverb go to the output. So we're splitting the signal. We're sending a dry signal straight to the output, and we're sending the reverb signal out to the output. So envelope signal, we follow this channel over to reverb. Boom. And then we take the reverb and we put it, oops, not through the meter, about through the output. We should be hearing. There we go. Now we've got some reverb. Okay. You can turn up these outputs here. All right, there's so many things you can do here. I mean, I could just spend hours telling you about different various ways that you could patch this, and that's not what this video is about. It's about trying to drive you to a simple, usable musical sound as quickly as possible so that you can familiarize yourself with how this darn thing works. The last thing that I wanted to show you guys is that here on the back panel, if you turn on this portion, you've got your effects here. These and these. So this first top one, this is a compressor, gate, expander. I look at it as a compressor. If my control gets a little too wacky, or if I need to boost the signal a bit, that's a little too hot. Okay. So I can kick that on and it'll help keep the sound under control and also kick up the volume a little bit so I don't have to use an external booster or something. Down here we've got, on the up position, that's off. In the middle position we've got flange. So you can do it in stereo. You've got the bottom knobs here are the rate. I think this is the feedback control. Or, you know, maybe that's the feedback control and this is the delay. You know, you get the idea. I'm not going to name everything exactly correctly, but you can clearly hear what is each knob is affecting, okay? The main thing is, I know D, G, and the little Enye symbol aren't exactly clear. You just have to remember that this is your effects section. The top is the compression. Here, its middle is flange, and on the bottom is delay. So you can do flange on one side and delay on the other. Okay, and you don't have to necessarily pan them hard left and hard right. I can go back to the front panel and I can put them both in the center so that we get a mono sound. But we're getting both flange and we're getting the delay. Okay, there's a million things you can do, but that didn't take us too long. Very, very usable, very, very musical sounds. Thanks everybody for watching the video. I want to give a big thank you for this video and the last one to James Edward Crosby. He helped me out so much with just understanding how things function inside VCS3, both the app and the original machine itself. This is a very idiosyncratic machine. It's really unique, and there are a couple of things that you have to understand before you dive into it, but it's not so difficult that you can't get something musical out of it quickly. If this is appealing to you, it's so much easier to just dive into the deep end, and you know, I mean, I can turn this on and make it bloop and bleep at me all night long, and I'll be totally fine with that too. But how do you use this musically? How do you use this in a project? Because there's so much more here if you can just rein it in a little bit. So thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and please subscribe if you want more. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and there'll be links and everything that what I talked about here in the description. And hey, thanks James Edward Crosby for giving me this, and thanks to Apesoft, man. This is the most amazing app. I've had so much fun diving in and dealing with this and just learning it and figuring it all out. It's so rewarding when you finally get a handle on it and get it together. So thanks everybody. I hope you liked the video, and I will see you guys next freaking time.